Nigeria and Morocco again meet on strategic projects.
There's going to be a new focus on the operation.
We are determined to restore peace in the Northeast. Chief of Defense Staff vows as the lead service chiefs to operational tour. A food security, National Security and Civil Defense Corps deploys personnel to Agro Rangers Unit.
Our men of the Agro Rangers have been restoring confidence to the farmers.
Oh, good evening and welcome to the Network News on the NTA. Kenan Ima Abolike is my name. Michael Olaleye will be reading from Lagos. Sadiya Umaradigi joins us from Sokoto. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Moroccan leader King Mohammed VI have discussed a joint effort towards the realization of strategic development initiatives, including Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project and a fertilizer production plant. The heads of state in a telephone conversation welcomed the positive and dynamic bilateral relations between the two nations in all critical economic sectors since the king's visit to Nigeria in 2016 and President Buhari's return visit to Morocco in 2018. President Buhari and King Mohammed expressed determination to carry out as soon as possible the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project and construction of a fertilizer production plant in Nigeria. President Buhari spoke with the Moroccan king from his country home in Daura, thanked him for his country's support in the fight against terrorism and violent extremism, as well as education through scholarships and training. Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC, NMPC and partners have secured a $260 million funding for the Ano gas project. The funding from a consortium of 7 indigenous banks is first of its kind for gas midstream and one that experts believe will contribute to transforming Nigeria's energy landscape. Here is Lydia Sampson with the report.
Imagine what $260 million will do in Nigeria's gas subsector. This is the funding just secured for the Ano Gas Processing Company, a joint venture of Seplat Petroleum Development Company and the Nigerian Gas Company, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). Projected by key sector players to become the largest midstream gas project in Nigeria, chairman of the joint venture company Yusuf Usman, who is also Chief Operation Officer Gas and Power at the NNPC, says the project will generate employment and support the nation's import substitution program.
For gas, this particular one that we have some financing for is bringing about 300 million scf of gas into the domestic market. All of it into the domestic market. This gas is going to be used for power. It's also going to be used to drive our industries. It is also, part of it will be used to drive our gas-based industries.
The project is expected to produce 300 million standard cubic feet of gas per day, while directly and indirectly impacting the host community and the nation as a whole.
So we want to be by far the most dominant privately, or we're listed in the business market, but privately held company. But the critical thing is working with government. So it's a partnership. It's a partnership that we have in all of our assets with government. Delivering that gas transition is really where we want to go.
Is the successful delivery of this project, and we want to deliver it on budget, on schedule, and safely. Safety is very important to us in the oil and gas industry. We take safety very, very seriously.
With all partners pledging their commitment, Nigerians await the impact of the project dubbed Game Changer in the gas midstream subsector. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Healthy consultation by companies with stakeholders' needs assessment and delivery of corporate social responsibility projects to host communities have been identified as key to successful investment. This was call of conversation at the groundbreaking for a 2,000 capacity energy park in Okwama, Brass, Bayelsa State by Atlantic International Refinery and Petrochemical Limited. Aya Prezi reports.
As a prelude to the project take-off, Okwama Cottage Hospital has been rehabilitated and waterworks upgraded among other corporate social responsibility projects by Atlantic International Refinery and Petrochemical Limited.
I want to make sure not just come and create jobs, but give jobs, support the community, and turn this into a model partnership between community and investors.
Minister of State for Petroleum Timipre Silva advised communities to always ensure and maintain an atmosphere of peace and harmony to attract investors to their areas.
A year from now, we'll be back here to actually commission a finished modular refinery.
We believe the jobs and other opportunities that will be created during the construction and operation phases of the project will serve as avenue to promote peace and security.
High point of the event was groundbreaking for the 2,000 capacity energy park and inauguration of the company's corporate social responsibility projects performed by the Minister of State for Petroleum, Timipre Silva. His Royal Majesty King Ebitimi Banigo Okpo, the 21st of Okpoma Kingdom, appreciated Atlantic International for the choice of Okpoma for the project.
Atlantic must succeed to pave the way for other private sector projects to come on.
The great socio-economic prospects of the energy park in the area and the people's joy are succinctly captured by Chairman Okpoma Council of Chiefs, Chief Inikio Sam Seledede, when the eminent guests, led by the Minister of State, visited the king at the palace. Aya, Brazil, NG News.
And for more on oil and gas infrastructure, let's join Michael Olaleya in Lagos.
Nigeria, as a developing economy, has invested massively in the development of key economic sectors to drive sustainable growth, with little attention given to the gas industry. Abolade Salami in this report takes a look at the huge opportunities embedded in the sector for economic gains.
Natural gas in Nigeria over the years has not been fully harnessed for economic gains, as more than 324 billion cubic feet of gas, equivalent to $1 billion in revenue, which could as well generate 3,000 megawatts of electricity daily, was fled in 2017. In an attempt to diversify so as to overcome the crude oil price volatility that mostly affects economic performance and expand the energy value chain for economic growth, the Central Bank of Nigeria in September offered 250 billion naira intervention facility as loan to companies willing to invest in gas. The initiative targeted at stimulating investment in the development of infrastructure to boost domestic gas resources for economic growth. Energy players note will aggressively drive more revenue.
By January this year, it became evident to Mr. President, who is the substantive Minister of Petroleum Resources, that we simply can't continue running the hydrocarbon industry the way we've been running for the last 70 years.
As the ninth largest gas reserves country in the world, with over 188 trillion cubic feet of gas, which are exported as LNG, Nigeria now stands a better chance of reaping more of economic benefits and creation of jobs with the federal government initiative for petrol vehicles to run on LPG.
With the right mindset which is available now, and the right team, we can make it fly in the use of gas as an alternative, either LPG, CNG or LNG. These are gas that we have locally and they don't need to be imported.
It is expected that the various gas expansion policies of the government will drive the needed economic and social benefits. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
One of the leading manufacturers of mattress and other polyurethane products, Mocha Limited, has rewarded its dedicated business partners across Nigeria with 54 brand new trucks and other wonderful gifts in appreciation of their dedication to the brand and as well boost their morale. This was at the company's Trade Partners Award ceremony held in Lagos under strict COVID-19 protocols. Imoli Ayotokide has details.
Fun and merriment appropriately depicts the mood at this event when a frontline company, Mocha, generously surprised its business partners with brand new trucks.
Mr. Isaac Honor wants to test run the vehicle by sitting in it.
Attended by selected business partners, the event was also to share business best practices for increased productivity. Chief Executive Officer Raymond Murphy lauded the distributors for their huge support, patronage and loyalty over the years, despite the pandemic and harsh market realities.
Regardless of where you live in Nigeria, because of MUCA's business partners, consumers can easily find MUCA products. And these partnerships that we talk about with our business partners, many of those have gone from generation to generation.
Because of our wavering commitment to ensure that the product is available to our dear consumers, that is what is driving everything that we are doing. And I will tell you that the success story is just behind the unrelenting spirit in MUCA.
The business partners showered encomiums on MUCA's management team.
I'm dumbfounded. I'm the happiest man today. I never saw this coming. Hard work pays. And MUCA is a brand that supports their customers. Because without them, we wouldn't have been here today.
With over 6 decades of existence, MUCA reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding consumers' well-being by delivering superior products for quality sleep and sound health. In Lagos, Imole Ayotukide, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports with Kenne shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
Hey guys, making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109*NIN#. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
Glow Unlimited.
For you to tanda for this world, you got know what's up. Sabi waiting day ground, then start to do your own. Get ginger to sabi every. Because when you fit see the different side of the world, anything they possible. BBC News for Pidgin, make your life better.
In my house, we may look alike, but we are very different individuals. My adorable twins, they look so alike, but they don't like wearing the same things. And my little man, he loves to learn his own way because doing things his way is more fulfilling. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal. It allows me to satisfy everybody just the way they want it.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber. Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
One passenger, big auntie. Come and enter my bus now.
Hey, conductor, this cough is serious. I beg, you need to go to the hospital.
Hospital? Auntie, if I go hospital now with this cough, those people will just say I have COVID-19.
No, they won't. Doctors say cough symptoms are different in every condition. Some are dry, others are wet, like your own.
God bless you, auntie. I have told this my conductor. The cough has refused to go, and it could be tuberculosis.
Conductor, check am make you dey sure, because who no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB test and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 for information on where to get the test. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Tough on stains with longer lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer lasting freshness. Tough on stains with longer lasting freshness. Extra Fresh with longer lasting freshness. Tough on stains with longer lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer lasting freshness.
Mommy is back! Guess what's inside? Chocolate. Biscuit. Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
Cavity? What cavity?
Let me show you.
Most toothaches are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity.
It also has natural mint for minty fresh breath every day.
Mom, can I eat chocolates now?
As long as you brush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Welcome back as we go to security, where the new Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Lucky Rabo, says the President's service have come with renewed vigor and determination to address the lingering security challenges, promising that military operations will be made in such a way to ensure quick restoration of peace. The CDS stated this when he led the newly appointed service chiefs on an operational visit to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Maimuna Garba reports.
By the service chiefs was to assess the security situation in the northeast region with a view to addressing it. Hence, they met with various commanders for briefing at the Military Command and Control Center, Operation Lafia Dole. While intimating Governor Babagana Umara Zulum on the purpose of their visit, General Erabo assured to actively engage other security operatives in routing the insurgents and appealed for understanding and support of the citizenry to enable them conclude the task. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum emphasized the need for continued and sustained military operations in order to stabilize the region and called for the presence of maritime component on the shores of the Lake Chad.
Effective collaboration with our neighbors is very critical because the war has taken an international dimension.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff addressed troops where he delivered the President's message that their welfare is his priority and assured to improve on the operational engagement, urging them to continue with their gallantry.
There's going to be a new focus on the operation, and I would like to assure the general public that the team spirit that exists amongst the troops in the theater is what will be fostered to meet the operational objectives.
Major General Lucky Erabo had used the visit to debunk rumors of Chibok girls escaping from the custody of the insurgents. They visited wounded soldiers receiving treatment at 7th Division Hospital. The service chiefs had sought the fatherly blessings of the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbe Al-Amin El-Kenemi, and assured him to do everything within their powers to restore lasting peace to Borno. Responding, the Shehu assured them of traditional rulers and Borno citizenry's unwavering support to end the insurgency. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
And turning to the National Assembly, where health professionals in the country have been urged to eschew tendencies that narrow their interest but concentrate on qualitative healthcare delivery for Nigerians as the core value of their calling. Senate President Ahmad Lawan made the appeal at a one-day public hearing and presentation of memoranda on 5 health-related bills by stakeholders. Dayo Ogunshala reports.
Time for us to reinvent ourselves and go back to who we are.
That was the representative of the President of the Senate setting agenda for critical stakeholders in the health sector to ensure they work together in the interest of patients, putting aside avoidable internal wrangling among various professional bodies. The 5 bills upon which the public hearing was held include Advanced Healthcare Development Fund Bill, Federal Tertiary Teaching Hospital Development Tax Fund Bill.
The purpose of this engagement today is to articulate the views of stakeholders and the general public on these bills with a view to coming up with a balanced legislation that will be acceptable to all.
And for the different professionals, please emphasize on your quality and be the best you can be.
There are issues of management, there are issues of understanding,
and to require a lot of enlightenment.
Memoranda presented by different interest groups and bodies are aimed at improving the bills.
The principal officers have been appointed, council is in place, the university has started functioning. But we need legislative authority.
The 5 bills were referred to the Senate Committee on Health for further legislative action after passing through the second reading. In Abuja, Dayo Gunshola, NTA News.
In the meantime, a meeting to sensitize Christian leaders and scholars on COVID-19 vaccine has ended in Abuja with a unanimous agreement that with the right messages from religious leaders, the majority of the populace will receive the COVID-19 inoculation without prejudice. Joy Ken Ababoya reports.
Seated here are religious leaders who, like everyone, are worried about the rising figures of COVID-19 infections and deaths.
If you love your congregation, you will teach them restraints at this time. We must stand united and beat this pandemic.
For now, vaccination seems to be the only assurance of safety, but unfounded beliefs and conspiracy theories about the COVID-19 vaccine has put doubts in the minds of many, even before its arrival in Nigeria.
The COVID-19 vaccine brings a palpable sense of hope for all Nigerians whose lives have been torn apart by the aftershocks from this dreadful pandemic.
This gathering is part of efforts to build trust around vaccine safety and define roles and responsibilities of Christian leaders in mitigating the devastating COVID-19.
It is imperative that all of us gather as one people, with one voice, to deliberate on how to save ourselves.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says religious leaders can influence values and attitudes in their congregations, and engaging them will amplify the spread of accurate information to protect families and communities.
Each and every one of us is vaccinated. No one is safe.
In Abuja, Joy Ken Abakuya, NTA News.
Let's now take you to Sokoto, where Sadia Umar Digi takes us through the next set of reports. Hello, Sadia.
Kenny, glad to have you join us. Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, is to collaborate with the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Yaba, Lagos, and the National Veterinary Research Institute, VOM, JOS, to produce vaccines against COVID-19 and other neglected tropical diseases. This came to the fore at the one-day National Virtual Symposium organized by Usman Danfodio University. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
The emergence of COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the fore the global inadequacies of health care infrastructure and human capacity to deal with health challenges globally. The global rush for COVID-19 vaccine has led to competition with their consequences to weaker countries. In order to reverse this trend, the Usman Danfodio University Sokoto, Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Yaba, Lagos, and National Veterinary Research Institute, JOS, organized a one-day virtual symposium to discuss how best Nigeria can produce vaccines against COVID-19 and other neglected tropical diseases. The virtual symposium, hosted by Usman Danfodio University, had over 200 participants from across Nigeria.
For vaccine production, we know that most of the requirements you have to use, for example, steel for all the equipment that are going to be used for vaccine production. In terms of our own regulatory controls, we have 6 controls or functions that will continuously ensure vaccine quality.
We have to find a solution for ourselves, especially for diseases that affect us here locally.
A group of scientists has already been constituted from these 3 institutions, and they have started work in earnest in trying to see how we can develop a vaccine, more specifically now vaccine for Lassa fever and also the COVID-19.
The virtual symposium identified poor funding, poor infrastructure, lack of belief in local researches, and lack of synergy between academia, industries, and government agencies as some of the challenges of indigenous vaccines in Nigeria. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
3 students have sustained injuries as fire razed down female students' hostel at the Usman Nfodo University, Sokoto. Shehu Muhammad Detti again reports.
Amidst jubilation by students of the Usman Nfodo University, Sokoto, over the resumption of academic activities after a long stay at home due to the strike action by the Academic Staff Union of University, ASU, and the COVID-19, the school was hit by fire outbreak. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Monday, affected the Nana Asma O female hostel, destroying properties and valuables of the returning students.
I lost everything. I lost everything in the fire. I lost my credentials because I even passed through the fire. So just all I could think of when I woke up was just my life. I lost my credentials, my food, my clothes. We lost everything.
The management of the school has constituted a committee to investigate the cause of the incident.
For the credentials, all that can be done will be done by the university. That I can assure. For the properties, the committee will investigate. And I assure you, the committee will advise the university on how best to help the students out.
Though no life was lost, 3 students sustained injuries, with one of them admitted at the Usman Nfodo University Teaching Hospital. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Now, network news will continue in Abuja after these messages.
This is a public service announcement on your National Identification Number, NIN. First, dial *346# to get your NIN and write it down. This will enable you link your NIN to all your numbers easily. You can now use any of these 4 ways to link your NIN to all your MTN lines. 1. Dial *785*NIN#. 2. Visit My MTN app. 3. Visit www.nin.mtnonline.com. 4. Text your NIN number to 785. Remember, this includes your data SIMs and other alternate lines. For those without NIN, visit the NIMSI website to find a registration location. Avoid disconnection. Link your NIN to all your MTN lines before 9th February 2021.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
If life were a game, where every choice brought you closer to your dream, ask yourself, would you stay where you're unappreciated? Waiting for change to happen? Or would you somehow take that first step to changing things for yourself? At ARM Pensions, we believe in taking action, because when it comes to your retirement goals, it's not about who you are, it's about who you play with. Join the team of more than just pension managers. Join the team that appreciates you. Switch to ARM Pensions today.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher no more. I fell one country. Teacher no more. I fell one country. Omoni resiti
Ajebo na better school for last gidi. Not be all this on a rugged yes school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Can you see? We not happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, shall we? Sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I mean, I talk with that now.
That not for me. You want make I die?
Not for me because of Pamio.
Thank you for staying with us. Enforcement on the presidential directives stopping indiscriminate parking of trailers and other articulated vehicles on the nation's highways has commenced. Co-Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Boboye Oyemi, while interfacing with the stakeholders at Ogeres section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, expressed satisfaction with the level of compliance. Yemi Dalemo reports.
The directive, among other objectives, is to eliminate gridlock, road crashes, severe damage on the road, and criminal activities occasioned by indiscriminate parking on the highway. Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Commission Dr. Boboye Oyemi says resisting trailers and other articulated vehicles from parking indiscriminately on the highway will not only promote safety and security on the highway, but preserve the lifespan of the road.
That is what is required in the country, and that is what we have always been saying about our 4-point approach: persuasion, education, subtle force, and enforcement. So the presidential directive has commenced and is on course, and we are going to sustain this.
2 new truck parks will be constructed with a capacity of not less than about 250. We are thinking of how we can even increase the capacity.
The ones that are owned by government, we have a responsibility to bring them up to the state of performance that we would like to see. All the others that are privately owned will be required to meet certain standards.
We don't have park place. The one where we get them, they never repair them.
The Ogre section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, which provide a holding bay for drivers of trailers and articulated vehicles, recorded over 50% of road crashes on the highway in 2020, with 150 fatalities. Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
The federal government opens savings bond for subscription as the equities market drop after outperforming peers in Africa at the end of January 2021. Musa Abubakar has details on business news. How are you tonight, Musa?
I'm good. Thank you, Kene. Federal government opens savings bond for subscription as the equities market dropped after outperforming peers in Africa at the end of January 2021. The Debt Management Office, DMO, has offered for subscription 2- and 3-year savings bond at 1,000 naira per unit. The circular on its official site states that the 2-year bonds with February 10, 2023 as due date will attract an interest rate of 4.2% per annum, while that of 3-year with February 10, 2024 as due date will attract an interest rate of 5.2%. The Nigerian Stock Exchange has continued to receive positive reviews when it closed the month of January 2021 on a positive note to emerge the best performing stock exchange in Africa. Professor of Capital Market Uche Owalike says the feat is a reflection of investors' confidence in the exchange.
This performance has been the favorable policies, especially the monetary policies of the central bank, which have engendered a low interest rate environment, and this has triggered investors' interest.
Our equities market closed on a negative note on the first trading day of February. The all-share index depreciated by 0.13% to close 42,357.90 basis points, with market capitalization at 22.1 trillion naira. A total of 586.8 million shares worth 6 billion naira exchanged hands in 7,611 deals at the end of the day's transaction. Well, that's business news. It's back to you, Kenya.
Thank you very much, Musa. Now, 43,000 personnel of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps have been deployed into the Agro Rangers unit aimed at achieving food sufficiency across the nation. The additional reinforcement came to the fore at a media briefing by the Acting Commandant General, Kelechi Madu. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports.
Protection of critical national assets is the main responsibility of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, which explains their success in stemming the tide of oil bunkering and other facilities. Now, the NSCDC feels farmers who provide food security to the nation also need to be protected, especially as activities of bandits threatens the country's drive to be self-sufficient in food production. With the redeployment of personnel into the Agro Rangers unit, the NSCDC wants to give confidence to farmers to grow more food for the nation.
Our men of the Agro Rangers have been restoring confidence to the farmers, and these farmers have started going back to their farms because they escort them to the farms in the morning and lead them back in the evening.
The NSCDC says it has already mapped out strategies similar to the emergency operations in the protection of other critical infrastructure and national assets to make the Agro Rangers unit successful. The impact of the new unit is expected to be instant as the country is set for the 2021 cropping season. In Abuja, Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
I would say one of the major markets in Abuja has been closed alongside other markets and plazas for violation of COVID-19 protocols. Charles Alpha reports.
Most offices in the Federal Capital Territory are adhering to the use of face masks, but public places like the Wuse Market, plazas and other designated areas remain vulnerable, with the level of compliance to safety measures minimal. Those without face masks were denied access into the Federal Secretariat complex. The people you see behind me have been arrested for outrightly flaunting the NCDC COVID-19 protocols. About 100 persons were arrested by the FCT COVID-19 enforcement team.
I've been arrested for not putting on face mask. So we cannot fight with the government. We have to follow rules and regulation. That was the reason why I'm here.
They were tried, convicted and fined by a mobile court sitting at the Eagle Square, Abuja.
The judge, in her wisdom, after seeing what transpired here today, that's the judge, Idayat Akoni, she actually gave a very strong ruling that three key, areas of default, as the Wuse Market, the UTC Market and the Mock Plaza, be shut down until they comply.
After many arrests, the team advised Nigerians to comply with the executive order by President Muhammadu Buhari to avoid second nationwide lockdown. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria is now expecting 16 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines this month against the 100,000 Pfizer doses earlier envisaged. PTF Chairman Bose Mustafa at the national briefing says increasing the first batch of COVID-19 vaccine is necessary towards achieving vaccination of 40% of Nigerians this year as the second wave of the pandemic rages across the world. Reports will come in our subsequent bulletin. Now, befitting accommodation will be provided for internally displaced persons across the country. The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Bashir Garba Mohammed, disclosed this when he flagged off relief materials in Guma local government area of Benue State. Husseini Mohammed is a report.
The internally displaced persons who are taking refuge in Daudu 2 camp
were displaced from various communities in Guma local government area of Benue State. To alleviate their sufferings, federal government through the National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons has provided food and non-food items as a palliative measure to reduce their hardship. The distribution, which was done amidst compliance to COVID-19 protocols, put smiles on the faces of the IDPs.
We appreciate for what the National Commission has done to us.
Representative of the Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons, Simon Omachoko, says more items will come the way of IDPs in the state.
When the implementation of the 2021 budget starts, we are coming with more items that will take care of the increased number of POCs in the IDP camps.
The camp is hosting over 2,000 IDPs, including children and the aged.
I am Hussein Mohamed Issa, NTA News.
Hijab is an Arabic word literally used for a specific Islamic mode of dressing which reflects decency. For a long time, organizations, including the Coalition of Muslim Organizations in Nigeria, are advocating for more recognition and use of hijab in public places. Salwa Ibrahim Khalil completes the report.
The hijab is today becoming a global phenomenon. While many countries have adopted the use of hijab, some are not allowing this mode of appearance by women, the attitude termed as hijabophobia. 18-year-old Asia recounts how she was discriminated because of her hijab.
Told me that I should take it to any length. She's going to meet me there.
This group of Coalition of Muslim Organizations of Nigeria, among others, believe that there are many women with hijab at their places of work that distinguish themselves in their profession, and so debunk the fear that hijab is not a threat in Nigeria and the world.
For hijabophobia to be completely obliterated in our society, as it affects the social, economic and political development of our country. Do not let our pride be your prejudice.
Today, the world is standing in support of millions of Muslim women who choose to wear the hijab and live a life of modesty with the global celebration Hijab Day. After all, an American writer and social commentator, Roxanne Gay, says, "Some of us cover to protect our bodies. Some of us cover to protect our souls. In both cases, respect their choice." Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Former Minister of Information and Culture, a stalwart of the All Progressives Congress, Prince Tony Momo, is dead. He died today at the age of 81. He was a professional journalist and a committed politician who believed in the Nigerian project. President Muhammadu Buhari, in his condolence message to the family, Abuja Kingdom, the government and people of Edo State, described Prince Tony Momo as a staunch ally who stood with him through thick and thin. The president recalled his immeasurable contributions as chairman, media and publicity of the All Nigeria People's Party AMPP campaign organization in the 2003 and 2007 elections, as well as chairman of the Congress for Progressive Change CPC. President Buhari commiserated with the media industry on the loss of a veteran who put in a lot to raise the bar of the profession in various ways. Momsa Damian Dati and this tribute looks at the man, Tony Momo.
Number 165 of my father's children. So the president of Taru of Auchi, who is my elder brother, is number 90. I come from the biggest family, organized family in the world. Yes, the Kilebe descendants, family. My father had 257 children. What? Yes. And had 48 wives. Wow. And the family was organized into 7 compounds, you know, headed by the most senior wives. And every woman in the family was a mother to every child in the family. And we were told, if you hate your brother, you will die. Who wants to die? I didn't want to die. So I grew up loving everybody.
Prince Tony Momo, on his life when he celebrated his 81st birthday in the peak of the COVID lockdown last year. the one-time Minister of Information and Culture, Chairman Nigerian Airways, General Manager, Times Publication, and on the list goes.
Our taking advantage of our diversity and concentration of black bodies on it to achieve the mission of Nigeria in God's ordering.
Late Tony was a lawyer, politician, journalist, and author of many books. In Abuja, Momsa Damien Dati, NTA News.
In the meantime, Chief Olusegun Oshaba mourns Tony Momo, a former Ogun State Governor. That's Chief Olusegun Oshaba, has described late former Minister of Information Tony Momo as a consummate journalist. He was a strong and powerful member of the intellectuals and the media. The great Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe gave him the title as a loyal journalist, and he lived up to the nickname. Serious-minded, deep in his thoughts and writings, through which he left an indelible mark in the media world, Chief Olusegun Oshaba added. You're still watching NTA Network News. We now go on our final break. Do stay with us.
The Wilson family last week. This is the Wilson family this week. What's changed? What? The Wilson family got maximum entertainment for less, and now they're closer than ever. Your family can be too.
How does this work?
With world-class international channels that put the quality back in your quality time.
That's what I'm talking about.
GoTV Max will bring you and your family closer in no time. So upgrade to GoTV Max for only 2,999 naira today. Make you enjoy. GoTV. Love it.
Arrested Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi has called for street protests against the country's military, warning her followers they now face living back under a dictatorship after 10 years of democracy. Details with Justin Bem-Uni.
Myanmar's army seized power in an apparent coup on Monday, detaining the de facto leader along with members of her party, and declared a state of emergency for at least 1 year. Following this development, Myanmar's detained leader has urged the people not to accept the military coup. The demonstrators, wearing face masks and carrying flags, stood outside the United Nations University in downtown Tokyo and called on the international body to further condemn the Myanmar military's actions. Japanese Foreign Minister expressed serious concern about developments in Myanmar, and Malaysia called on all parties to resolve any electoral dispute peacefully. Also, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned the detention of the country's civilian leaders. He expressed grave concern about the declaration that all legislative, executive, and judicial powers have been transferred to the military. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also expressed grave concern in a statement and urged the military to reverse its actions immediately. In a later development, the Rohingya community condemned the military power grab. Its leader, Dil Mohammed, described it as a heinous attempt to kill democracy. Meanwhile, Human Rights Watch Asia Advocacy Director John Sifton urged the U.S. and other countries to send a strong message to the military by imposing direct sanctions, just as European Council President condemned the military seizure of power in Myanmar and demanded that it release all those it had detained in raids across the country. China said that it hoped that all sides in Myanmar could properly manage their differences under the constitution and legal framework and uphold stability. And the United Kingdom's Prime Minister Boris Johnson joined the chorus of voices who are condemning the latest developments in Myanmar, as India's Ministry of External Affairs said it was concerned over the latest developments, adding that it was closely watching the situation. Justin Bem-Uni, NTA News.
Athletes step up preparations for Edo 2020. Details from our sports desk.
Welcome to Sports Update. I am Tamara Ebiwe. We begin from home front, where athletes to the 20th National Sports Festival, built for Benin City, the Edo State capital, this month, are intensifying training at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, to ensure podium finishes at the festival.
It's been a very long while that we competed, so we're just trying to put everything in place. Our coaches are trying their best to see that we execute it properly.
We've only had 1 meet,
So based on that, I wish we can run one more meet before the festival. But I think come festival, a lot of people will be a little bit in tune with the specific training, and then I think they should pretty much come to perform.
In football, talents discovered at the just ended 2021 Olympic hybrid football screening program held in Abuja are in camp, preparing for the 2021 Ghana Cup, scheduled for Denmark. The newly selected players and the main team settled for a 1-0 draw on the final day.
So we want to start working and building with our old squad to get things out of it. So basically it was a very successful program.
Now to tennis, where former world number 1 Serena Williams' chase for her 24th record equaling major singles title gets a boost, as she has fully recovered from an Achilles injury suffered at the US Open in September. Serena and Katie Boulter won their opening Australian Open warm-up matches, with Williams defeating Australia's Daria Gavrilova 6-1, 6-4, while Boulter beat Russia's Anna Kalinskaya 6-1, 6-3. That's Sports Update. I am Tamara Ibiwe.
The death has been announced of a teacher, community leader, philanthropist, and successful businesswoman, Alhaja Saliat Abike Erobobo, at the age of 19. She is survived by 7 children, including Abike Dabri-Yarawa, the chairman of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with Abike Dabri-Yarawa and other family members on the passage of the matriarch. He recalls that Alhaja Erobobo was a well-rounded Nigerian born in Kano, schooled in Lagos, and impacted positively on the lives of students who passed through her tutelage in Kano, Lagos, and Plateau states. The death has also been announced of a devout Christian and community leader, Leonard Agom Jariwe of Cross River State, aged 90. Burial arrangements released by the family indicate that a requiem mass will hold on Wednesday, 3rd of February 2021 at St. Benedict's Cathedral, Igoli, Ogoja local government area of Cross River State at 4 p.m, while funeral mass is slated on Thursday, 4th of February 2021 at St. Michael's Primary School, Ibil, Ogoja by 10 a.m. Interment follows thereafter at the family's compound. He is survived by children, including the member representing Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency of Cross River State, Jaliwe Agom Jaliwe. Betari Ben will now bring us the story on PTF briefing on COVID-19.
The nation now looks forward to a massive rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, just as more cases of a dreaded strain of the virus are confirmed in the country.
On the 30th of January, our partners at the Africa Center for Excellence in Genomics in Ede confirmed 6 more cases of the UK variant in Nigeria, and 1 in the FCT, the old one, 5 Oshun, and 1 from Kwara State. So altogether we now have 7.
By the time the West vaccinates its people, there will be heavy restrictions of evil movement across the globe. So we must try as much as possible to get ourselves on course with vaccination.
The full cooperation of state governments will be critical with regard to supporting remuneration of vaccinators and smooth running of the operation.
The information out there that the COVID-19 vaccine contains harmful elements that alters the DNA is patently false.
The Presidential Task Force insists that civil servants from grade level 12 and below should work from home, urging state governments to begin enforcement of the COVID-19 health protection regulations signed by the President.
I repeat again, all employees and the head of civil service of the Federation has already issued a circular to this effect. From grade level 12 and below shall continue to work from home, and no MDA is allowed to vary these instructions.
And it is expected that every organization will monitor compliance of staff or the space within which they supervise.
The NCDC indicates that Nigeria is currently experiencing an increase in severe COVID-19 cases and fatalities, urging Nigerians to comply with all non-pharmaceutical guidelines for public health and safety. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Now, a quick look at the weather prospect for Tuesday.
Saharan dust currently being tracked via satellite has not indicated any dust raised at the source region within the last 24 hours. And as a result, we expect the northern region to be sunny and hazy in good visibility, while dust haze over the north central is expected, with few places in poor visibility of less than 3,000 meters. To the southern cities, the inland and the coastal areas should be hazy with sunny spells. While in the afternoon and evening hours, we expect some cloud build-up with chances of isolated thunderstorms over some parts of Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, and Cross River State, while most places in the north still remains hazy throughout the forecast period. Now that's the weather forecast. I'll see you again.
And that's NTA Network News tonight. Many thanks to you for watching. My name is Kenan Ima Abudike. Good night.